Really only added one new additional signee today. I'm going to talk about Malik just because the first time we got together, you guys didn't know he'd already signed, right? So the best kept secret in the Midwest. But Mac Resetich, I just can't say enough about what we learned about him. He's actually from my neck of the woods, didn't grow up too far away from where I was. And when his name came up in his hometown and his program, I kind of started smiling. And I give a lot of credit to Pat Hamilton, our personnel department, especially Pat Ryan. Pat Ryan was a huge part of Matt Bailey a year ago, just staying on top of an in-state prospect, kind of a unknown guy. We actually kind of started to talk to him. He came for a game, I guess it was probably mid-year, midway through the season. I had a chance for our guys to eyeball him and be around him. I specifically said, let's stay on the down low on this one. I really liked his film. I remember watching like the first 10 plays, and all of them were touchdowns. I'm like, how many touchdowns does this guy have? And they said 30, and I was like, really just engaged and intrigued, and that's what kind of led us to where we were this past weekend. I knew going out of the first signing day that obviously he was still a little bit under the radar from everybody else's opinion, but he's high on the radar for us. So with the bowl game and preparation and all that, I said, let's take an inventory. In January, I'd actually, felt a chance that I was going to have some transition on our staff, so I really didn't push the envelope. I just felt that I wanted to keep this one to ourselves and where we're at. So when January rolled around, I said, let's find the best weekend or best opportunity to go see him 2 weeks in a row. So I believe it was Pat Hamilton who went and saw him the first time in a basketball practice, came back, actually called me after the practice and said, Coach, what are we doing here? We need to go. And then the last Saturday that we could go out, the second to last Saturday that we could go out on the road, Coach Ryan and Coach Henry, Aaron had been out all week seeing all kinds of 24 and 25 prospects all over the country, our best defensive prospects, and I sent him in to watch Mac play basketball, and he literally came out of the gym and gave me a call and said, this is where we need to go. So I wanted to wait till the last weekend just so we could kind of put things in perspective and had him in this past weekend. And to his credit, when we offered him, he kind of took a moment, composed himself. Mom and Dad were with him, and then had a chance to go back and talk to his family and friends who called us on Monday and said he wanted to go. I said, let's do a favor. Let's just wait till we get to Wednesday to announce this. So I have known and noticed that when we draw attention to a player, all right, we gather a lot of people around us. So I kind of wanted this one to be in our hands all the way through. So I'll give you a couple clips here of Mac. I'm sure a lot of you have probably already seen him. I think it was noted to me that he had 0 stars at 7 a.m. and after we signed him, he jumped up to 3. I don't know how that happened. But I think it's really kind of just a nice addition. He's got the all-hair team to begin with, obviously. But I think the great thing about him is he plays multiple positions. Here you're going to see him at quarterback, but he really does a lot of different things on the field. I think I got 6 plays here for you, right? Just really good athlete, obviously a baseball player, already duly noted, but very, very good at changing direction. He has really good vision. You'll see him playing here on defense, here on offense. He's a little bit better athlete than probably everybody on this field, but he knows where to go with the ball. He knows to take an angle and run, and he just kind of pulls away from it, right? And I think the thing that shows up repeatedly on film here is just his intelligence, football IQ, why the ball's going on. Here you see him playing midfield, and just the burst, right? So right now, right, if you just look at it from a football coaching perspective, his heels are on the 5-yard line, all right? Obviously, the 10-yard line here, 20. Ball started about 25, and you're going to see the ball kind of break out on the angle here, right? He's coming, he's flying, right? So now the ball, he started at the 5, right? He's running straight sideways at the 17, and he makes contact with him on the 18, right? So in his decision to go straight sideways, he gained 16 yards, right, and made a tackle that nobody else really saw. So he just pulled the pin, came, and then as far as just from a defensive point of view, hat in front, runs his feet on contact. A lot of guys will just go ahead and dive on this play, but one thing that I look at all the time is what do we do on contact? Here you see him contact, and you see him actually continue to take 2 more strides, which means he's running through the tackle, right? He's got the ability to do it. Not always available, but it's a lot of times a lost art, right? Here we go, playing mid-center, right? So now, again, the ball's being snapped somewhere here about the 10-yard line, about 11-yard line, because the chain crew's a yard short of the goal line. But here you see he's a midfield player, right? Reading and reacting off the quarterback throw. So he's on the 1-yard line. Ball's being thrown off the right hash, right? So just do the mash, right? So this ball's being thrown on the 16-yard line. he's in the middle of the field, right? He's not even on the hash. When he sees this, he sees the quarterback, and you can see his shoulders. The first thing that tells you as a coach where someone's going is his shoulders. It's not his feet. It's not his eyes. A lot of times the player will open his shoulder, all right, open his hip before he ever tells you where he wants to go, right? So the first thing I see is he's a balanced player here. He steps sideways with his right foot, all right? But he sees the vision that opens that left shoulder, that left hip. He's still looking at the quarterback, but before this ball is even out of his hands, he's now engaged in a full hip turn, a burst. And all he can do is extend. Now, this is really, really something, right? A lot of players might try to go this, all right, and do something with the left hand, all right? He knew where the ball was. He knew receiver. He hit it with his forehand, all right, his front hand. Not with his backhand, which is going to decrease the amount of length he has. He reaches with the front hand because this maximizes the ability that he has. See how much higher that right hand is than his left hand? That's not normal, right? That's not normal, right? Like for him to reach with his right hand, deflect that thing and put it out of bounds where no one else can hit it. He couldn't pick it like he could if he reached his left hand. He wasn't going to catch that ball with his right hand. He knew that at that point in time, the only thing he could do is deflect the ball with his right hand, high point reach it better than anybody else, and knock the ball out of bounds. Huge football intelligence. Huge. Can't coach that, all right? Coach Henry may take credit for that next fall. Shit, no. This is football instincts, all right? Here we go. So now, obviously, we got a punt situation. He's back there as a punt returner. As a good coach, you find as many ways possible to get the ball in the hands of a good player, right? So here it is. Obviously, a line drive kick. The ball lands here about the 33-yard line. Takes one hop, all right? He has the ability to get in front of it, his little baseball skills. Takes it on the high hop. This is baseball at its finest, right? Takes it, all right? Takes a vertical, and now goes vertical. And now knows he's got the ability to speed and outrun everybody else, right? A lot of kids might, with this color outside here, with receivers on it, a lot of guys would probably just take this thing and make it vertical. He realizes all this, knows he's got a soft edge, right? He knows he can outrun that guy, doesn't even get it in play, and takes it around the edge, right? Just, again, great football awareness and finish to everything that he's doing. Here's a good one, too. This is another one down in the red area. Obviously, the ball was being snapped on the 11-yard line, right? Just goes, right? Just goes, right? So I'm telling you, I don't know what they call it. Coach Tieman's got a defensive package here, but it looks like he's just kind of a bonus player to the quarterback as it reads. He realizes the ball gets thrown. Watch him, right? So he's dead foot, 1 foot forward. He's not even – this guy's running straight sideways, right? He's running straight sideways. All he does is take that left foot. Again, the first thing that tells him where he's going, watch his left shoulder and left hip. See how it opens? He's got his vision on the ball. Actually, a 1-yard tackle for loss, right? Just off the vision, instincts, reactions, and ability to go get it. Here we go. Midpoint center. Again, free safety. I love this play, right? 20-yard line hash. He's reading the apex of the quarterback. He's got a receiver out here. He's got a receiver out here. Watches the quarterback's vision. Right now, he just kind of sits and waits. Now, most kids, right? Most kids, when a quarterback begins to advance, right, they'll kind of drift forward, right, or drift. He just stays there, trusts his vision, turns and reacts, and then doesn't just go get it. He gets that ball, comes in front of everybody else, doesn't go sideways. He goes and attacks it, catches the ball at the highest vertical point, and got a big play down in the red area, right? Not only prevents them from scoring, but gives the opportunity for his offense to have a change of momentum, go the other way, right? So just really, really good football intelligence, IQ. We're going to start him at safety. They can play a variety of positions. So this is my first chance to really kind of show and showcase Malik. We're going to quit here at 2:30 because I know he's got a little audition we're going to show for you. But Malik is probably one of the most enjoyable recruits I've ever been around. Identified him early on as a player that we knew we wanted to have in this program. Obviously, from the Chicago Simeon, Terrence Jamison, the lead recruiter, but he tag teamed with George McDonald, really our entire staff. We knew this was anybody that's in the state of Illinois, we take it as a collective staff to go get, right? And this is probably a journey from the time he committed. I remember the night he committed to another school, I was at Dan Hartlib's house at a fundraiser. My wife and I were working with him to raise some money for baseball. We agreed to a dinner. There was a dinner going on, and all of a sudden I get this phone call, right? And I'm like, I knew it was decision time. So I went and I sat on Dan Hartlib's couch, and I think I talked to Malik for about 30, 35, 40 minutes. Just sat there and talked about where he was at, told me what he was doing, explained to him, hey, we're going to stay with you. We're going to continue the good fight. There's a long time before we got to make a signing date. And actually, when Malik committed to us, Dan Hartley was one of the first guys I called because he goes, I don't know how you don't get that guy, right? And it was just, that was kind of the story. And then his story, the way he kept it a secret was all his idea. Just an awesome kid. So here you see him where we're going to play him at wide receiver. Does a lot of great things, but just super instincts, natural ability. You see the length here, all right? The ability to go up one hand this thing and bring it to the other hand. Only thing he could do is get it to that other hand and then retain the catch, right? Like just his whole game. I went and watched him play live. Any play can be a human highlight reel. Again, here's just a nice little low cross, right? Again, catches the ball, and then what he does in yards after catch is truly incredible, right? So side swipes this guy, got 3 guys, right? Got 1, 2, 3, boom. Makes that guy miss. Now this guy, stiff arm, so he's got physicality, got a stiff arm right here, stiff out. And then he outruns everybody else. Just truly got some exceptional yards after catch ability. There's another one flexed out. I think this is more of a short route that he turns into something special. So the ball is caught here on the 20-yard line. You see this offensive play call in our system quite a bit, right? So it's just one-on-one. I'm better than you. Stiff arms, right? Now just runs away from him, right? He stays in proximity. Throws the left hand, not a penalty, right? Just puts it right in the middle of the sternum, uses his length. He's extremely long. Right, do we have to work a little bit on ball security with him, but here he goes, the ability to take off. Guy's got the angle, right? So we work this drill all the time. Some of you have been at practice or showed, I worked this sideline drill, right? Get this guy to full speed commit over the top, take it back inside. Now he knows, has the awareness and presence to stiff arm back on the player behind him. Takes care of that. Obviously, we got to give him a shirt that doesn't have this type of length. Would really help this situation, right? So now he's got a hold of him by the shirt tail. Keeps fighting, pulls himself out of it. Now he's got a one-on-one here. Obviously, drags it all the way down to the 3-yard line, right? So a huge change in field position. Get him in a shorter shirt, we might have had a touchdown, right? Here we go on the slot again. Just a really good vertical ability to go up and catch the ball. Got 3 guys right here. Everybody knows where he's at. It's not like Malik Elzy just showing up out of nowhere. Everybody knows where he's at. So he's going to go triple, double, coverages. Quarterback throws it where no one else can get it, comes down and gets it. Now he has the ability to also break the ball, break several tackles, knows where that end zone is. Just another good example of understanding where he is, what he needs to do. Here's another good look. So now it's on a vertical route. He knows it's coming. Settles down. His quarterback's in a little bit of trouble. Goes up and high points the football. Takes it down outside where nobody else can get it. Like 2 defenders here. Some kids might bring the ball down in his right hand, his dominant hand. Takes it down in his left hand. Not afraid to put it in his left hand. Spins, reacts. In the end zone. Right? Another yard after catch, time and time again. One more wide receiver play. Outcut vertical route. Catches the ball out above his catch. That catch radius that he's had is some of the best I've ever ran around. So that's his catch radius, right? His ability to catch the ball outside the framework of his hands, of his body, underhands, stiff arm, walks in the end zone. Got to be great at ball security, but a lot of really good things. So now, here's what we should know, right? He's a punter too, right? So he's a punter. Got a good strong leg. Rutrow doesn't need it. Ability to do some special athletic things, not just at the wide receiver position, but I told him in the recruiting process, I'll line him up anywhere, offensive wide receiver, running back, quarterback, defensive back, whatever we can do to help win games, he's going to do it, right? So